Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Sally Pinto and I'm from the Yonkers Newark neighborhood naturally occurring retirement community. We launched back in January of 2020 and we're here to serve seniors 60 plus in Northeast Yonkers. We have lots of fun programs and activities, and we also have a lot of resources for you as well. Our programs include meditation chair yoga, body mind fitness, bingo, and any other programs that you might be interested, like arts and gardening. We have our resource specialist, Alexa Smith, who can help you with finding services and activities out there for you, as well as our nurse, Barbara Simone, who can help answer your health-related questions. We're here for you, we're here for our community, and we look forward to seeing you in our programs. Enjoy.
Hello, everybody. I'm Alexa Smith, the resource specialist with the Yonkers Newark. I'm here to help with application assistance, referrals for home delivered meals, and transportation services will be coming soon. We also offer Zoom activities and Zoom programs. And if you have any other questions or concerns, I'm here to help. Thank you so much and enjoy the program.
Welcome. I'm Barbara Simone, registered nurse. I recently retired from Westchester County's Health Department as a public health nurse. I am now here to try to assist you with any medical or preventive care issues. Enjoy this program, and I'm looking forward to working with you.
You can have any comfortable place. You can always add like a pillow or blanket underneath the legs. Maybe you just keep the knees pointing up to the ceiling. You can let your hands rest on your belly. You can close the eyes or just invite a softness through the gaze. You can always move around a little bit when you first get there to just kind of allow yourself to settle in. Just begin to check in with your mind, your body, and your breath today. Starting to invite inhales in through the nose. And as you exhale, sigh the air all the way out. Continuing to inhale through the nose. And exhaling to send it all the way out. Allowing the edges of your body to soften into the floor. If your hands are resting on your belly, maybe you're feeling the belly rise and fall with your breath. As you take your next couple rounds of breath, we'll eventually meet with your feet on the floor and the knees pointing up to the sky. And you can leave your hands resting on your belly or bring your arms by your side, Yogis choice. And especially if your legs were extended out in front of you, just be sure to nice and slowly bring any movement in to help you settle into this new shape. And walk the feet as wide as your mat, or if you're not on a mat, just a little bit wider than your hips. And just begin to rock the knees from side to side. So think like a windshield wiper, but it's just a drizzle. So just moving nice and slow. Maybe the hip is gently lifting into the rock with you. And then just evening out the sides. Allow the knees to come back to the middle. Keep the feet wide, but then just let the knees knock towards each other. So it doesn't matter if they touch, mine don't. I'm just letting them fall inward a little bit. Just one breath here. You'll let the knees start to come apart. Walking your feet about hip width apart. So just walking them a little bit closer together. And let your right knee come in towards the chest. And you can use your hands. Really squeeze it in tight. And you can keep the left foot on the floor like I have here, or you can extend the leg long. Yogis choice. So just hugging the right knee into the chest, and maybe you start to rock it a little bit from side to side. Just creating a little bit more space in the hip joint. And you can interlace your hands behind your leg, but let the heel be heavy. And you can then flex and point the foot. So we're just moving the foot first, maybe rolling it. Unless you get up really early, you probably haven't been on your feet much today. And then find a position that feels good. So maybe it's holding the flex, maybe it's holding the point. And then start to straighten the knee. It doesn't matter if it straightens all the way. And then bend the knee again. So we're not gonna hold right now. We're just gonna bend and straighten the leg. Just inviting some dynamic movement in. Just kind of also checking in with where you might be feeling a little tight or tender today. And then start to hold the foot up to the sky. So again, it doesn't matter if the leg is completely straight, but try to make the knee as straight as you can. Really focusing on engagement and activation of the muscles. So really feel as if the muscles are trying to hug into the bone. Just one more breath. Bend back at the knee and plant the foot on the floor to meet the left leg. And switching sides, so bring your left knee in. So again, your right leg can stay bent, keeping the foot on the floor, or you can extend the leg long. And just begin to rock the left knee. Just creating a little bit of space. Take your hands behind the knee, so interlacing at the thigh, and then we'll just move the ankle and the foot for a few rounds. So you can point and flex the foot, roll the ankle. Then find a place where the ankle can pause. So it can be flexed, it can be pointed, it can be somewhere in the middle. And we'll start to bend and straighten the knee. So extending the leg up to the sky, and then bringing the heel back to the booty. Your sides will likely feel a little different. And then next time the foot is up towards the sky, you can pause. So again, trying to straighten the knee as much as you're able, focusing on hugging the muscle to the bone. Checking in always with your breath. One more breath here. And then bend back into the knee. Plant the foot on the floor. Pause for a beat. So bringing both feet onto the floor again, walk them as wide as your mat like we did a little while ago, and find that windshield wiper. This time, we're gonna pause that windshield wiper to the right. So maybe bring your arms out into a T or a cactus or a Y, just creating a little bit of space through the upper body. Doesn't matter how far the knees fall to the right. You can always add a block or a pillow or a blanket for support underneath the knee. Just one more breath here. Allow the knees to come back up to the sky. Find that windshield wiper before we pause on the left side. Again, adding whatever support you need. Allow the knees to come back up to the sky. Take that little wiper, just kind of rinsing it out. And start to hug both knees into the chest. You can bring one in at a time. Rocking a little bit from side to side. And we'll begin to make our way into a seated position. So you can rock and roll up and down or roll to one side to press yourself up. Adding whatever support you need underneath your hips. So if you need to sit on a blanket or a pillow, we'll come right into a butterfly leg position. So the soles of the feet are together, the knees are wide. It does not matter where the heels are. They can be really far away from you. They can be really close to you, somewhere in the middle. Just kind of really feeling your sit bones rooted onto the floor. Again, adding whatever support you need underneath the knees. And sit up nice and tall. Really feel like the crown of your head is being pulled up to the sky. Gently roll the shoulders back. A little bit of broadening across the chest. Take a deep breath here. Deep inhale in. And letting it all go out. Keep your left leg where it is and extend the right leg out. Spinning myself back a little bit. So your left foot can kind of sit on the inside of the right leg and think wide with the legs. You can point or flex the right foot, whatever feels most comfortable. Sit up nice and tall, but this time reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Hinging a little bit at the hips, you'll bring the hands to the floor and just leaning a little bit forward. So that little bit of forward can be with your hands really close to you and you're just kind of reaching the heart a little forward, or your hands can go out a little bit more. Still feeling like you're trying to reach through the heart. But then when you find a place that feels okay to pause, just release your head and your neck. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here. After that 3rd breath, just start to walk your hands in. Sit up nice and tall and just switch sides. So extend the left leg out and bring the right foot in. Adjust how you need to, if you need to. Reach the arms all the way up to the sky, stretch it tall, and we'll come right into that hinge forward. Your sides are gonna feel different. So check in about where you need to be. When you come to a place that feels okay to pause, you can release the head and the neck. Just one more big breath here. Starting to walk yourself in, extend both legs out wide. Yeah, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. We'll take one more fold here. So you're in a straddle. Bring your hands a little forward and pause. You can release the head and the neck. Last big breath here. And just start to walk your hands in. Take your hands behind you and plant your feet on the floor. So think of that windshield wiper we took on our back, and then just begin to rock the knees from side to side. So rinsing out that folding. And we'll find our way onto our hands and our knees. So if you need a little bit of extra padding underneath your knees, make sure you slide a blanket or even like a soft pillow underneath them. You can always even add a little bit more support underneath your hands, especially if you're on hardwood. So when you come into your tabletop position, let's just move a little bit. So maybe that movement is some cat-cows. Looking forward and rounding the spine and dropping the head. Maybe it's rocking from side to side. There's really no right or wrong here. I just want you to move however feels good to you for a few rounds of breath. Especially as we continue to kind of change our perspective on the mat. Just waking up the body, moving with your breath. Two more big breaths, however you're moving. So meeting back in that tabletop position after that second big breath. And just extend your right leg back, keeping the toes curled under. Press back through the heel. Need a gentle stretch through the calf. And lift the leg up just a little bit. So you can bring the knee in and step the foot up between your hands. So it doesn't matter if it's in one swoop or 100 swoops. So you'll step your right foot forward, bring your hands on top of your thigh, coming into a low lunge. So make sure you've got that padding on the back knee for extra support if you need it. You can always flip your mat in too if you don't have something close by. And kind of like you were doing before, a little bit of dynamic movement. So rock in and out. So kind of pull yourself back and come forward. So you're just being really gentle as we start to open up some of the tissue. And also kind of settling into a little bit of balance, because that's what we are doing here. And then finding a place in that rock that feels like you're balanced, like you're got a little bit of a stretch in your left hip flexor. Pausing and reaching the arms up to the sky. Bring your hands around behind your back. So you can interlace the hands, or you can always hold on to the wrists or the forearms. And just focus on expanding through the heart space. And perhaps the gaze looks up. Pressing down through your feet. Release that interlace, reach the arms up to the sky. And bring the hands all the way back to the floor. And bring your right foot back to meet your left. Curl your toes under. And lift your hips up and back into a downward dog. So you can always stay in that tabletop position if inversions are not feeling good for you today. And when you get to your down dog, any movement you want. And drop your knees back to the floor, and let's come into a child's pose. And don't worry, I know we have to do the other side. gonna pause in as child's pose. Your arms can be out in front of you. Your knees can be as close together or as far apart as you want. Or if a child's pose is just not feeling good for you today, you can always come into another position, either seated or on your knees, just finding a place to pause for a couple of breaths. And start to come back into a tabletop position. Let's take a couple of breaths, and again, any movement you want. You can find some cat-cows, kind of just rock yourself, maybe even just noticing for a moment any difference between the sides. And extend your left leg back. So keep the toes curled under. Press back through the heel. Lifting the leg up, just so you can step the foot up between the hands. Again, it doesn't matter if it's one swoop or 100. You'll bring your hands onto the thigh, adding any support underneath your back knee. And again, we'll find that dynamic movement of kind of rocking a little bit in and out. Finding a sweet spot. And reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Really extending and lengthening through both sides of the body. Taking your hands around behind your back. So again, you can interlace the fingers or the wrists or the forearms. Just focus on expanding the heart space. And then reach the arms back up to the sky. Bring your hands to the floor. Step back, coming towards that tabletop. And then coming into a downward dog. So just relieving some of that pressure on the knees. This time we'll come into a forward fold. So I like to walk my hands and feet towards each other and kind of meeting at the middle of my mat. Keeping a bend into my knees. Again, if it's too much for the head to be all the way dropped, I want you to keep the gaze a little forward. And there's a little bit more activation through the core and the back body. We'll just hold for a beat. And then everybody find a little bend into your knees. Bring your hands to the tops of the thighs. Really press into your feet and come all the way up to stand. You can keep your feet a little wide. I'm just moving back a little bit so my head isn't completely chopped off. That's better. And then standing up nice and tall, you can bring your arms by your side. Roll the shoulders back. As you roll them back, focusing on creating that space through the front of the chest. Reach the arms all the way up to the sky. And then lean over to the right. It's getting a nice side body stretch. Come back to the middle and lean over to the left. Come back to the middle. Release your hands. Shift the weight into your right, your left foot. I'm just gonna face you, but you can say facing the front of your mat. And then bring your right knee towards the chest. Yeah. And just turn it out to the side, so opening up the knee, and place your foot somewhere on the inside of the leg. So maybe it's on the calf, maybe it's on the thigh, maybe your toes are on the ground, and it's at the ankle if you need a little extra support. And you can always use a wall or the chair. Yeah. Really feeling yourself stand tall. So feel as if the crown of your head is trying to reach up to the sky. Find something in front of you that's not moving. And maybe if you're feeling really good, your arms start to reach all the way up to the sky. And it's okay if you get a little wobbly as you do that. Just coming back to your balance. Coming back to your breath. One more. If your hands were up to the sky, bring them back to your heart center. Place your foot back on the floor. And we'll switch sides. So shift the weight into your right foot. You'll bring the left knee in. Turn it out to the side and then place the foot somewhere on the leg. So again, your toes can be on the ground. Maybe you're at the calf, maybe you're at the thigh. Finding something in front of you that's not moving. You're feeling good here. Maybe you reach the arms up to the sky, just playing with it a little bit. Use your breath. It's okay to be a little weeble wobble. So, and then bring your hands back to your heart and let's gently unwind. Bring your foot to the floor and let it all go. So standing up nice and tall, just reach your arms all the way up to the sky. Let's take that side lean again, lean over to the right and over to the left. You can release your hands by your side and step your, I'm just going to switch direction, and then just step your right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Spin the heel down. We're going into warrior two and start to bend into your left leg. Bring your arms into a T. Flip your left hand and reach your left arm all the way up to the sky. Get that nice side body stretch. Bring your arms back to a T, straighten your left leg. Reach the left hand forward and down for triangle pose. Right arm up to the sky. So your left hand can rest on the leg, but almost feel like you're trying to press the hand away from the leg. Press into your feet. That's your foundation. That's your root as you rise all the way up. Turn all 10 toes to the side of the mat. And we'll take warrior 2 with a bend in the right leg. Really reaching through the fingertips. Ooh, my carpet is moving. Be careful of moving carpets. Really press down through the heels. Expand through the chest. Flip and reverse your warrior. Reach your right arm all the way up to the sky. Bring your arms back to a T, straighten your front leg. Reach the right hand forward and down as your left arm comes up to the sky. Triangle pose. Expand through the heart. Press into your feet, rise all the way back up. Turn all 10 toes to the side of the mat. And then just start to walk your feet towards each other and turn back to the front of your mat. Excuse me. Reach the arms all the way up to the sky. And fold all the way forward. So have a little bend in your knees. You can bring your hands towards the floor. You can always keep your heart lifted. And then just start to come to sit. So I don't care how you get there, however way works. Crossing the legs. So you can pull a blanket underneath your booty. Doesn't matter which shin is in front. Reach the arms all the way up to the sky. And let's take a twist to the right. So bring your right hand behind you and your left hand towards your right knee. Open the heart. Start to reach the arms all the way up to the sky. And then bring your twist to the other side. And then reach your arms all the way up to the sky. And let's reach the hands forward. So it doesn't matter again how far forward they go. You can round the spine here. Release the head and the neck. Start to walk your hands all the way in. And then just switch which leg is crossed in front. So switch the cross of your legs. Should feel probably a little uncomfortable when you first get there. And reach the arms all the way up to the sky. We'll come into that twist again. So twist to the right. So we're gonna do the same thing, twist, twist, and fold. Reach through the crown of the head, open through the heart. It doesn't matter how deep the twist is. Reach the arms all the way up to the sky, untwist, and then twist to the other side. Start to reach the arms all the way up to the sky, and then reach the hands forward. So again, really just letting your body be heavy in this fold. You can round the spine, release the head. It doesn't matter how far you go. Start to bring yourself back up. You can extend the legs out in front of you, just rinsing out that cross. Move or not. And we'll come onto our backs. So if you know, we're not going to go right into Shavasana, but if you know you want props for Shavasana, maybe just pull them so they're close to you. And then as you come onto your back, just plant your feet on the floor. So the knees are pointing up to the sky. Just like we were doing at the very beginning. Adjust your body as you need, whatever you need. And cross your right ankle on top of your left knee, coming into a figure four. You can keep your left foot on the floor or hug the knee and hug the figure four into the chest. Yogi's choice. Use your breath to hold you wherever you're at. Last breath wherever you're at. You're hugging the figure 4 in, gently release it. Planting the left foot on the floor. Uncross the right leg. And let's come right into the next side. So cross the left ankle on top of the right knee. Again, you can stay here or hug the figure 4 into the chest. So trying to take the same thing you took on the first side, but also know that it might be a little different and you might need to adjust, and that's perfect. Last breath. You can gently release the leg. If you're hugging it in, planting the right foot on the floor, uncross the left leg from the right. Pausing. You can find a little windshield wiper. And just walk your feet as wide as the mat. And like we did at the beginning of class, just let the knees knock towards each other. Bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. Notice and observe the breath. Take 2 more deep breaths here. You are welcome to stay just as you are, or start to extend the legs out. You can always add a support underneath the thighs as you begin to settle in to your final Shavasana. You can allow your arms to come by your side. Maybe adding a little padding underneath the head. Maybe putting something over your eyes if the lights are on. And always feel free to make any kind of wiggles and movement you need before you can fully settle in. Just allowing the last few minutes of class for you to just sit in complete and total gratitude for your practice today. Shavasana.
Hi, everyone. This is Z from Yonkers Public Library. Thanks so much to Sally Pinto and Alexis and Barbara from Newark. Thank you to our community partners, WJCS, the City of Yonkers Office for the Aging, Westchester County Legislator Ruth Walter, Friends of Crestwood Library, and Yonkers Public Library for making this phenomenal partnership. And we thank each and every one of you for being part of our wellness community. Be well, stay well.